Preparations for the exciting night of fights are underway, with the Dawson Creek curling rink getting decked out. There's going to be 9 MMA bouts with 3 kickboxing fights mixed in. President of Fivestar Fight League Justin Donnelly is a big fan of boxing and kickboxing, so he was happy to add a few more of those bouts to the card.
Boxing's kind of my true love, so that's where I'm kind of transitioning into the kickboxing a little more too, and we'll always stay with the MMA, but I'd like to keep adding that, and we're looking at adding boxing in the future as well.
5-star vet Dylan Lilke is taking on Gray Patino in a kickboxing match. Donnelly says that Lilke typically utilizes his ground game in his MMA fights, so he's excited to see the 6-1 fighter put his stand-up on display.
He's a real exciting fighter, but we usually see him take guys down, wrestle him, use his jiu-jitsu. Super good jiu-jitsu guy, but his kickboxing is also very good, and Gray Patino, who he's fighting, has also got really good kickboxing, so I'm really excited for that one, to see that fight.
Now, there are no pro fights on the card. While that could deter some fans, Donnelly says that the fights really aren't that different.
Say amateur and people don't know, a lot of people don't know the difference between pro and amateur. The rules are basically the same. Rounds are a little shorter, but a lot of younger, hungry fighters, so it makes for usually pretty exciting fights.
In fact, a few of the guys fighting have a number of bouts already under their belts.
We got a lot of really experienced amateurs on this card. Brent Ogier is 7-1. Dylan Lilke's on the card. He's 9-1. So some of these guys have more fights than even maybe some pro fighters do. A lot of guys turn pro after 2 or 3 or 4 amateur fights. So they start racking up that many fights. They're getting to be veterans, even though they're still at the amateur level.
And even the more green fighters typically will put on the best show.
The 0-0, 1-0 amateur guys that are going to be on the cards, you just don't know what to expect, and a lot of times it turns into fireworks, so I expect some good stuff.
Because the amateurs typically don't know any better and will come out swinging. In the co-main event, Travis Lucier is facing Dylan Main out of Edmonton. Lucier vacated his 5-star middleweight title, deciding to make the drop to welterweight, even though he's basically an amateur vet sitting at 4-0. Donnelly says that he's one of those guys that likes to throw bombs.
I talk about technically sound. Travis is one of those guys that he really puts on fan-friendly fights. It's usually a dirty war every time, so expect that to be a super exciting fight as well.
Derrick Lightfoot, CJDC-TV Sports, Dawson Creek.